Did Donald Trump just try to force Canada into becoming the 51st state? And did Canada just turn the tables on the US by shifting its trade to China? This trade war is spiraling out of control, and it's about to shake up global markets like never before. Imagine waking up to a world where the US and Canada are no longer best trade partners, but economic rivals. That's exactly what's happening right now. Donald Trump's surprise tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China have ignited a trade war that's turning former allies into fierce competitors. The most shocking part: Trump's bold suggestion that Canada should just join the US to make all the problems disappear. But Canada had a different response, one that no one saw coming. Stay with us as we break down how this all started, how Canada fought back, and how China is now swooping in to change the game completely. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end, because what happens next could reshape global trade forever. It all started when Donald Trump suddenly slapped hefty tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. Canada and Mexico were hit with a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum, while China got a 10% tariff at first. These tariffs were briefly paused for 30 days, but Trump made it clear they were coming back in full force on March 4th, China. They never got a break at all. But what really shocked the world was Trump's aggressive stance on Canada. Instead of just raising tariffs, he made an outrageous claim: Canada should just merge with the United States. His reasoning: no more border disputes, no more trade fights, and hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs that would make America richer than ever. And just when everyone thought it couldn't get crazier, Trump turned up the heat, threatening a 250% tariff on Canadian dairy products, and hiking the planned steel and aluminum tariffs from 25% to 50%. And if that wasn't enough, he hinted at something even more devastating: shutting down Canada's auto manufacturing industry entirely. That's right, Trump was ready to economically crush Canada if they didn't play by his rules. But Canada didn't back down. In fact, they came back swinging. Ontario Premier Doug Ford had one message for Trump: don't push us, or we'll push back harder. And he wasn't just talking tough, he was ready to take action. Ford's first big move: threatening to cut off electricity exports to the US. Ontario is one of the biggest suppliers of power to American states. If Ford followed through, cities across the border would have felt the impact immediately. And he didn't stop there. In a stunning retaliation, Ontario cancelled a $100 million contract with Elon Musk's Starlink, a deal that was supposed to bring internet to 15,000 rural homes. But Ford made it clear, Ontario wasn't going to support any American company that backed Trump's economic attacks. Then came the big one: a total ban on US businesses bidding on government contracts in Ontario. That meant billions of dollars in potential deals were now off the table for American companies. And if you think that's where the retaliation ended, think again. Canada's federal government had their own plan, one that would make Trump's tariffs look like child's play. On March 3rd, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced a massive counter-tariff plan. His first move: a 25% tariff on $30 billion worth of American goods, set to take effect the very next day. But that was just phase one. 3 weeks later, he doubled down, unleashing tariffs on $125 billion worth of US exports. This round would hit America where it hurt the most, targeting automobiles, steel, and aluminum. And Trudeau made it crystal clear, these tariffs wouldn't go away until the US backed down. And Canada wasn't stopping at tariffs. Trudeau's government launched a $1.3 billion border security plan, deploying drones and helicopters to monitor key trade routes. An unprecedented move that signaled just how seriously Canada was taking this fight. But here's where things get even more interesting. While Trump was busy battling Canada and Mexico, another global powerhouse was watching closely, waiting for the perfect moment to step in. For years, the United States has relied heavily on Canadian oil, hydroelectric power, and other essential resources. But what happens if those resources start flowing somewhere else? That's exactly what's happening now. Enter China. China has been searching for new, reliable energy sources, especially as tensions with Russia and Iran make things unpredictable. And guess what? Canada's recent Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion just made that possible. Before this, Canada sent 80% of its oil exports straight to the US. But now, Canada is finally breaking free. Oil shipments from Vancouver have skyrocketed by 527%, with tankers carrying Canadian crude straight to China, Japan, and other international buyers. China wasted no time in taking advantage of this. Between May and November 2024, Canada shipped nearly $2 billion worth of oil to China. That's almost half of all the new oil being exported through the Trans Mountain Pipeline. And China isn't stopping there. Rongsheng Petrochemical, one of China's biggest oil companies, is leading the charge, buying up more and more Canadian crude every month. Now, this is where things get really interesting. For decades, America had a near-total monopoly on Canadian oil. But now, that monopoly is gone. And if Canada decides to cut off even more oil to the US and send it to China instead, that could send shockwaves through the global energy market and straight into the White House. Meanwhile, in Canada, there's talk of reviving two massive pipeline projects, Energy East and Northern Gateway. If these projects move forward, they could completely reshape Canada's oil industry, making it even less dependent on the US. But it's not just oil. Canada is also re-evaluating its entire trade strategy, potentially shifting billions of dollars in exports away from the US and towards new global partners. So, where does that leave America? The big question, will Trump back down or escalate? With Canada fighting back harder than ever, the big question now is, will Trump double down, or will he back off? One thing's for sure, this isn't just about tariffs anymore. It's about global power, economic survival, and a massive shift in trade dynamics that could change everything. So what do you think? Should Canada continue standing up to Trump? Should they rely more on China and less on the US? Or should they try to mend the relationship before it's too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to stay updated on this trade war and other breaking news, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. This story is far from over. Stay tuned.